Okay, so I'm probably about to start one of the biggest controversies you could ever start in Texas history and probably anywhere in the world. But imagine this, all right? Imagine you're standing in line at a barbecue joint somewhere, right? Like the aroma of smoky charred beef just wrapping around you like a warm hug from a good-looking woman, right? And all around you, people are chatting about bark and smoke rings and which pitmaster deserves the crown of brisket king and all this and that. And for many people, that slab of beef is nothing short of being sacred. It's a rite of passage, to be able to prepare a good brisket. And for many now, for many people, that they view the brisket as being sacred. Now, I'm about to commit an act of culinary heresy here, okay, that could rival an uproar the size of the Alamo, okay? It really could. What I'm about to do here is throw in something. I'm about to commit a sacred sin. I'm about to say that the best way to make a brisket is simplicity. Salt, pepper, that's it. No secret rubs, no brand name spices, just the basics. A really good fire, the patience to let the meat tell its story, right? This is what I'm saying. And here's the kicker, okay? I am no chef. I'm no chef. I've never competed in a cook-off. I have zero plans to ever change that. I am a brisket enthusiast. I love brisket. I'm a Texan through and through. Been this way since the day I was born. And I have a firm belief that simplicity wins every single day. Every single day. We'll get into more of that here later on, but I want to kind of dive in a little bit and help you understand that brisket isn't just a cut of beef. It's not. It's a legend, right? Brisket is a legend, and it comes from the lower chest or the breast of the cow, if you will, right? And through it's a hard-working muscle, okay? If you know the anatomy of a cow, the brisket is a really hard-working muscle that's a significant portion of the animal's weight, really, if you think about it, right? And that's why it takes hours, sometimes over a day, to really get this thing good and tender and solid, right, to get it good. Now, this is, of course, for those of you that know brisket, this isn't some fancy ribeye. It's not a porterhouse. It's not the buttery tenderloin, nothing like that. Brisket is the blue-collar cut, right? It's the one that demands respect. Demands perseverance. Brisket is the workhorse of the cow. And down here in Texas, especially in South Texas, where I do my show, down here in Texas, brisket's more than a food. It's a cultural icon, man. I mean, it really is. It anchors backyards, barbecues, family reunions, church fundraisers, VFW events, all kinds of stuff, right? And the Lone Star State has really, my beloved Lone Star State has turned this cut of beef into a culinary art form. And they've elevated it with smoke and fire and everything else that almost has a religious reverence to it. Now, some people say that Texas barbecue is the best barbecue of the brisket. I wouldn't argue with that, okay? I think a good Texas brisket is about as good as it comes. You won't hardly find anything better than that. But the brisket's fame, I think, isn't... it's not confined to just Texas borders anymore. I mean, because of social media, brisket has turned into a global phenomenon. I mean, I was just today, just a little while ago, talking about brisket, oddly enough, coincidentally, to a client in Argentina, and he was talking about brisket. All you have to do is just scroll through Instagram or TikTok or whatever, and you'll find pitmasters slicing through perfectly smoked brisket all day long. Juices cascading onto the wooden cutting boards, they'll be in slow motion. TikTok's full of how-to guides. All sorts of rubs they're trying to sell you, and debates about fat caps and burn ends and wrapping techniques and all this other crap. And it's easy to get caught up in the frenzy. It really is. I have never been tempted to, but it's easy. I see how some people do get caught up into this frenzy of brisket. But I've always believed that the beauty, the sexiness of the brisket lies in the simplicity of it. I mean, it's not supposed to be complicated, okay? I mean, salt, pepper, good wood. I mean, that's really it, right? Salt, pepper, good wood. I mean, if you've ever talked about seasoning, you know that that's where it's at. I mean, if you've ever watched barbecue content online, everyone seems to have their own branded rub. Links in the bio. You get it if you want it, Links in the bio. Check out my link. All that crap, Everyone has their own rub. Garlic this, paprika that, a dash of cinnamon for complexity, whatever. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand and I appreciate the hustle. All right? I do. I understand and I appreciate the hustle. People are trying to make their mark. And they're trying to capitalize on this. They're trying to build a brand. And that's fine. I'll get it with you. But I'll be honest with you. I have yet to taste a rub or a seasoning that genuinely blows me away. I haven't found one that truly impresses me. And I'm sure that there's going to be people leave things in the comments and everything else talking about this rub or that rub or this seasoning or that seasoning. Their brother-in-law or their neighbor or somebody's making a damn seasoning. Everybody's doing it these days. Okay? But I, for one, have never met one that I really like. Most of them all taste the same to me, maybe with a faint hint of sweetness or some vague kick of some spice you barely recognize, but nothing that can really transform a brisket. And to me, a brisket doesn't need any rescuing. It does not need your help. If you shelled out good money for a quality cut, why would you mask its natural flavors with layers of unnecessary spices? Just a generous dose of salt and some good black pepper. That's all you need. Seriously, let the smoke do the heavy lifting. And speaking of smoke, the wood that you use really does matter. My personal favorites, mesquite and post oak. Yeah, mesquite and post oak. Mesquite gives that meat a real bold, earthy flavor with a slightly sweet undertone. It's unmistakably Texan, especially South Texan. Post oak, on the other hand, is a little bit milder. It has a smooth, smoky flavor that really lets that brisket shine without overpowering it. And it lets the black pepper do the work. It really does. Now, either way, either one of these woods work fine. They work like magic when they're paired with the natural richness of beef, salt, and pepper. Mesquite or oak. Mm-hmm. Now, I get it. Simplicity can feel underwhelming. It's not very impressive, especially when you're bombarded by influencers tossing around buzzwords, and things like layered flavors and all this other crap, This is just, it's too much. There's this constant pressure that you need to innovate, to add more, to make brisket something that it's not. But here's the truth, y'all. Brisket does not need bells and whistles. It needs respect. That's what it needs. It needs respect. Brisket cooking is not about flashy techniques or secret ingredients. It's about time, care, and simplicity. I mean, it's about waking up at 4 a.m. to light the smoker, checking the temperature every hour or so, resisting the urge to peek too often. It's about the anticipation. It's about waiting for the payoff. And when done right, that payoff speaks for itself with just a little salt and pepper. I mean, you may think I'm crazy. But it's so true. Now, let me address the elephant in the room, okay? Because I know there's some people out there shitting their pants right now. So I'm going to address the elephant in the room. By sticking to salt and pepper and a good wood, I'm basically turning my back on an entire industry of barbecue rubs, injectables, and glaze kits. All right? To some, that might be sacrilege, right? They'll say that I'm oversimplifying this. They'll, call me just a fat ass, don't know anything. I'm missing out on the nuances of barbecue. Give me a break. I disagree. Barbecue is not about showing off. It's not about, making little pee-pee bigger. It's not about feeling like more of a man and all this and that, It's about tradition. It's about connecting and honoring the meat. Honoring that piece of brisket. And when I slice into a brisket, I don't waste any time doing it. All right, when I slice into a good brisket, I don't want to taste 10 or 15 different spices vying for their bit of attention. I want to taste the beef, the smoke, the bark. I want to taste all of it and how it all blends in well with the salt and the pepper. And how that rendered fat comes together under a low, slow heat, how this all kind of blends together. That's the essence of brisket. No amount of paprika or cayenne or sweet this, sweet that, blah, 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 blah. I can do it. This thing does not need any improvement. Just let it go. Let it go. So here I am, y'all. Here I am, guys. A non-chef with 0 competition medals to prove for it, standing firm in my belief that simplicity when it comes to brisket is absolutely key. Not just key, it's king. Will this make me unpopular amongst the barbecue elite? Probably. Could it spark a debate worthy of a Texas legend? Absolutely. But I'll take that risk because in my heart I know that the best kind of brisket around doesn't need your damn gimmicks. It doesn't need your damn gimmicks. It doesn't need your seasoning. It doesn't need your spices. It doesn't need all this other crap. It just needs respect, patience, and a little bit of salt and pepper with a good wood. So that's what I'm saying. Go out and grab you a good brisket. Go out and grab you a good cut of brisket. Season it with some confidence now, some salt and pepper. Fire up some mesquite or some post oak. Let it be what it's meant to be. Let it be simple, smoky perfection. Sometimes the simplest things are the ones worth waiting for. Really. You call me what you want. I don't care. You can say what you want, call me what you want. I am what I am, right? But that's the way it is. Hey, I'm Matt Pierce. If you disagree, drop me a comment. I'm willing to have this debate with you. I'm not into here, buy my seasoning. Links in the bio. I'm not into that. I'm not into it. All right? It's just not my thing. I'm a simple guy. I think brisket, salt, pepper does it. A little bit of good wood. A lot of bit of good wood. That's the truth. So anyway, that's my take on brisket. Hey, drop me a comment if you disagree. I'm willing to have a friendly debate with you about it. I'm willing to discuss it with you. I'm willing to talk about it. I think we need to talk more about brisket. Have these open conversations. Just remember, respect the meat. Hey, I'm Matt. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff. Because, whatever. All right. Y'all take it easy. All right. We'll see you next time. Adios.